So interesting question. I think we should just go into quickly is can you have a health achievement where it is only part of, let's say, mental health alone? This would not be true. This would be a half answer, I'd say. There does have to be a component of mm, mental health, emotional health, and physical health in every solution of health. These three atmospheres really create the environment for us to have sustainable changes and in a way that we're not cutting corners. And if we do cut corners in this aspect, especially with health, ruled by the body's groundedness in this reality, the idea is that we will have side effects. We won't completely digest this positive change, and there will be pressures put onto us. These pressures can feel like, I guess a good example of this is if you are hired for, let's say, a manager position, and if you always wanted the position, it's something that's been so important to you to have, and you're finally there, and you're excited, you have all these ideas, but you're still lacking the um, call it mental fortitude to take on such a challenge, then there will be so much pressure in having this job. You will promptly quit, or in time, your body will shut down because you're overusing resources just to maintain this level of challenge. This means that when we decide to take a higher position or take on more of a leadership role or try something new, we want to be somewhat understanding of the level that we're currently at. Can we take on this new challenge without there being a huge drain on our natural resources? This is a very powerful question. That being said, we generally will have the idea from the perspective of how much pressure we feel when we take it on, how fulfilling is it, how happy are we to do it the next day, is there creativity in it? Generally, when we take on something and there is creativity that's constantly around this thing, this will mean that we are more than ready to take on that challenge because we are able to use both sides of the brain, which is what creativity does, to create results in that aspect of things. So, same thing with taking on this challenge again and being able to have lateral thinking. So somebody comes with you or to you with a problem, and instead of saying this is the answer right away, you take some time, you think, and you say here are the several possibilities. Which one do you guys think will work best? You take ownership of the responsibility, but also allow people to have creativity. Things don't have to be as rigid. Generally, the more rigid something is the less humanness in the thing. We generally like to have humanness in our environments, especially at work, especially at home, even more at home than at work. We do need to have that kind of new spontaneity, playfulness in our days, and this is what's generally restoring to, I'd say, the deepest part of us as humans. We do need that element there. And so it's important to know when we do take on a challenging area that we don't just quickly slap together the foundation and hope for the best and see how high it can go, but we take the time to put the right foundation or lay the right foundation, put the right pieces together because we don't want to rebuild this thing. We want it to be a strong platform that we can move off of and continue to grow in and towards our greater goals. We're always trying to look to grow towards our potentials. As humans, we have lots of potential and we just need some, I think, some guidance in sometimes, some experiences in others, and some appreciation and understanding in other areas to really move towards this potential that we all have. All right. Thank you very much for listening. Hopefully that gives you some insight into the importance of creating a mental, physical, and emotional rounded program for your health progressions.